Gibberpish podcast.
Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast. This week, our microphone's standing up, but our pop filters have dropped.
Yes, with brand new technology, we're here to talk Gibberpish, aren't we, Dom?
Absolutely. This week, we delve into the internet. We tame the wild beast that is internet and pull out some interesting topics.
And we don't shoot it like a fucking dick.
We're the anti-dentist at this point.
We're the anti-dentists.
We're not going to kill Cecil.
We are the cavity creeps.
We are the cavity creeps. We are... I'm thinking some kind of weird Saturday morning cartoon. We are the cavity creeps.
I think it was, like, we're talking old school.
Yeah,
real
American
pre-He-Man, maybe.
Yeah, pre-He-Man.
Dare we dare to dream that pre-He-Man there were cartoons upon the television.
Yep. But pre-80s cartoons, it wasn't just G.I. Joe and He-Man. But before we get into the steak of the show, we got to eat our vegetables. We're going to go into some feedback. We've got a couple answers. We put a question in episode 2, our download review, asking people not from the UK what their metal scenes were like, what their American mosh pits were like, and we have feedback.
I think we should clarify before we do the feedback. We record typically on a Monday. This is going to be recorded on a Tuesday due to outside circumstances, but we record on a Monday, and we'd like to try and get feedback for us before about 10 in the morning on Monday, which is basically Sunday night for most people in America.
Sunday night for our friends across the water.
If you send one in late and we get to it, fantastic. But these ones were missed. We physically closed the Audacity file that we recorded, and then the first email came in.
Yeah. So
we have some very great feedback from guys like Lance, Son of Odin, and our friend James here in Scotland, but we missed it.
Yeah, we would have covered it on episode 3, but like Colin said, we finished recording episode 3, then the email tone on my phone went off. So... shit happens.
Comedically well timed. I'll give it that.
Expertly well timed. Pat on the back to Lance and Son of Odin. You fucking timed it to perfection.
Yeah, so we'll go first. We'll just go in order from the order they came in. First is Lance, and you've got that one.
Indeed. Lance coming to us from Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada. I was quite shocked when I found out we had fans in Canada. I love Canada. I plan to go there at some point.
We have friends in Canada, eh?
Our friends in Canada, eh? What's that all about?
We had friends in Canada. No, they don't like us anymore. Guess why?
You fat nagger fella. We're going to tear some film. Anyway.
Uncle Faka?
Uncle Faka. That's you.
That's you.
Who, me? Anyway. Fuck. We've messed up already.
Just the way we like to roll.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Gibberpish podcast.
So, Mr. Lance's email reads, "Howdy from Western Canada. Your question was about the metal scene in other parts of the world. And here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, it sounds a lot like the one in Glasgow. The last few metal shows I've been to, the pit was wild, but respectful. Anyone went down, they were immediately brought back up. One larger gentleman was throwing his weight around it. Now, all in fun, of course, but if he sent someone flying into the floor, he made damn sure they got back up and fast. There was always a few pit noobs, but they soon learnt the proper way of behaving. If they don't tend to forcibly be taught some pit manners by other people in the pit." And then he goes on to talk about our review of Download. "I have to agree with your assessment of Motley Crue as well. I went to see them the last time they came to Canada, and while the show was pretty good, Vince forgot the words to about 4 songs, 3 of which happened to be my personal favourites. Tommy and Nicky were solely responsible for making it a pretty damn good show. Thanks for putting the time and energy into this podcast. I really enjoyed the first 2 episodes and look forward to listening to many more." And you can follow Lance on Twitter at Son of Korax. Yeah.
Lance is a good friend of mine, and we've been chatting for years over the internet, and we just have a blast on conversation, mostly about Warhammer 40k. We both love the world, and knowing that he was a metal fan, we got him into some of the podcasts that we listened to, got him exchanging music tracks, just our picks, and it's great to hear feedback from him. I went asking for it, going, "Look, we did this thing, can you get us some feedback?" So getting some feedback like that's great, especially answering our pick question.
Yeah, it's good to hear that it's not isolated in Scotland where you get the metal fraternity who's willing to pick up the small guy who's been knocked over. I think it might have just been my friend Steph having a pretty shit time when she was abroad, getting pushed about.
Brotherhood seems to stretch across the ocean. That's fine by me.
Yeah, which is a very good thing to hear.
So our next one comes from the Son of Odin. Very, very enjoyable podcaster.
Yeah. I'd highly recommend the Sons of Metal podcast.
He runs his own podcast called the Son of Odin podcast, and we kind of got into him through the Sons of Metal podcast, and we really enjoy ourselves when we're listening to that. It's a great time. He got some feedback and some new nicknames for us.
Yeah, yes we did.
Yes, so we are now the Gibbershit podcast.
Gibbershit.
Gibbershit. He's a Kentucky gentleman.
A Kentucky gentleman.
Yeah. I'm not going to do the accent. I'd love to say that I could, but I really can't. So, to Diva Dom and Crooner Colin.
See, his name's he's got at least a cool name. I've got fucking Diva Dom. I sound like Marlon Manson's stunt double or something. I'm Diva Dom. I'm a really shitty wrestler who wears a tutu or some shit. Thank you, Son of Odin, for my fucking name.
I'm okay with mine.
Yeah, you would be.
I like Sinatra.
You get Crooner Colin. You get people liking you to Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. I get likened to fucking female wrestlers.
So, we have a few random thoughts and observations from the Son of Odin. Regarding American mosh pits, the shows he's been to in his old moshing days, they took care of their own, with the exception of that occasional asshole who swings fists. We've all seen him, we all know who he is. Someone like that tends to get stomped down, and everyone else seems to watch out and help up their fallen brothers and sisters. I've observed the younger metalheads don't have the same courtesy. That's a shame. So may have just depended on what band your friends saw. How are the mosh pits in Scotland? I imagine crowd surfing can get awkward since you're all in kilts. That is true. We are constantly, this entire podcast is sponsored by kilts.
Yep. I'm wearing my Anderson tartan kilt right now. And my Anderson tartan underwear. Because it's far too fucking cold to go true Scots.
I'm wearing my see-through pattern kilt. I'm basically naked, but I can pretend that I'm wearing clothes. And of course, true Scotsman, because what's really the point? If you're going to wear see-through tartan, why not just go for it?
Yeah.
Sorry the crew didn't live up to expectations. When I saw them in November, Vince seemed more into the show than what you were describing. Maybe he had a bad haggis the night before.
He was in England, he probably had a bad English breakfast.
Yeah, not hard. It's not hard to get a bad English breakfast. Very hard to get a good English breakfast, especially in England.
Yeah.
B&B English breakfasts.
Oh, wow.
Hit hard.
That's why every time I go down to England on holiday with my family or anything, we always bring food with us.
It's pork-flavoured X-Lax, is what it is.
We just bring black pudding and porridge and shit and make our own stuff down there.
That's probably enough Scottish stereotyping for now. Great first 2 episodes, guys. Keep up the good work. Son of a bitch, Odin.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. So that was. It's very good to get positive feedback. We do have some critical feedback coming up now. But, mosh pits in Scotland, friendly.
Very
aggressively friendly.
Yeah.
But
you will get punched in the face, but the same guy who punched you in the face is more willing to help you up. And, in my case, find your glasses after he punched you in the face.
It must be nice.
It is, because it is that kind of Scooby-Doo moment where you're like, where are my glasses? I can't find my glasses. Then you just hear that crunch, and you shit yourself. Then you realise someone stood in a pint glass, and you exhale.
Yeah.
Then you find someone going, I've got your glasses, man. I'm like, right, thanks. I'll put them back on. Because the one thing someone bought me, they bought me this, it's meant for guitarists who wear glasses so they can attach it to the glasses and fasten them so they don't fall off when they're doing a solo or headbanging. Somebody bought me one of them, and within minutes they pung off when I went to see Children of Bodom. So I had to go and find that, because it cost them about 20 quid, so I didn't want to lose it. Then the glasses broke, and that was about 80 quid down the train. Yeah,
that's one thing. I know we have our kind of socialised medical care through the NHS.
Yeah.
You're pretty much still going to have to pay for really good glasses, like glasses that really work and are adaptable to many situations.
That's what I've just decided, fuck it. Screw it. I'm not wearing glasses to gigs anymore because they break contacts. If the contacts fall out, I'm blind for a bit. But it's £10 a month for another 3 months supply of contacts for me.
Yeah.
It's £90 to get a new pair of glasses.
It's about £100 normally. What I hear is that, and it might come down, it might go up depending.
I'm just abusing heavily my student discount.
Ah.
Just every time before I was on benefits a while ago when I lost my job, I always made sure to buy a new pair of glasses before it ran out because I'd get it cheaper.
Yeah.
Because I was essentially a scrounging bastard. Never go on the dole. It's a horrible experience.
As someone who spent 7 months there, can't really blame you on that.
Yeah.
It's more to do with, you're basically trying to go for a medically necessary, student discount, as long as you don't tell them how you require such a thing because you broke your last pair.
I have no shame about, especially going to the Specsavers people in Falkirk, I have no shame about going up to them and saying, they broke in a mosh pit. Because there's one girl there who said she was at that same concert, and she was testing my eyes. I was like, you were there? Yeah, I'm a metal fan. And she didn't look like a metal fan.
Well, I was going to say, if there's a cute goth girl, you're going to say, I was at this gig last night and broke my glasses. But yeah, if it's just...
No, it was like just a general, I don't want to say plain looking girl, because in the guardians of the internet will tear me a limb from
She looked human.
She looked normal. She didn't look like she fit into any type of genre, and she went, it was pretty good. I'd go again. So you broke glasses in the mosh pit. I'm like, I just kind of taken aback by it. I said, I need a new pair. And she went, cool. Then she started talking to me about what she was going to next week. I'm like, I won't ask for your phone number, but I'm a 12-year-old when it comes to this shit. I'll start getting the sweats and my hands will start shaking.
So our last piece
now that's out on the internet.
Pretty sure people knew before the internet, Dom.
Yeah, true.
Young pasty men don't do well talking to women.
Yeah.
Here come the headlines.
Yeah, it's getting better now.
Yeah. Good for you, buddy.
I can talk to women.
I can women talk.
You can't hear it, but I'm patting myself on the back.
Yeah. Well, so have you seen our mic? It will pick it up.
Yeah, I'm doing it very, very light. I'm force patting myself on the back.
That's what she said? Maybe?
Jedi foreplay.
Jedi foreplay. Right, moving on to our next piece of feedback. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it. From James Kerr. You can look up James Kerr at Argic Arcade on YouTube. You can follow his Twitch stream. I'm pretty sure it's Argic Arcade.
No, it's just Argic.
Argic on Twitch. He plays a lot of Star Fox, Sonic, a lot of speed runs and glitch runs. Guy knows his video games. I'd absolutely recommend watching his Twitch streams because the guy knows his shit.
Yeah. I've never seen someone so dedicated to breaking games.
Yeah. So, and he does it quite well.
Yeah.
Because when we went to Megabytes in Glasgow, he was determined to beat the high score on Lilac Wars. And he did it.
Nice.
And then there was a queue of people behind them going, fuck, I will beat this guy. I will beat this guy's high score.
So you can find him on Twitter as well. The spelling of Argic, which is his Twitter and Twitch channel.
And YouTube.
Is Argick.
Yeah.
If you have any problem trying to find that, because I sometimes hear names and I'm like, how the hell I find that terrifying name that I can't even pronounce. So go ahead with his feedback. It's pretty good. His
feedback reads, yo. So I hear you're looking for feedback. Well, I've listened to episodes 1, 2 and 3 and one thing keeps popping up. You're both talking about individual topics and the other one doesn't sound interested in it half of the time. An example of it is Doctor Who and Warhammer respectively. Well, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. We'll finish the feedback and we'll go into this in kind of more detail.
Next is your general agenda. Sometimes your chosen subjects don't flow well into the conversation. It's gotten better as episodes go on, but still something to keep in mind. Have a general agenda that flows. Finally, try and lighten up a bit. It's meant to be a fun podcast, but you're sounding more like reviewers. Have more humour and jokes in the content.
Right. This is a very good critical response to the feedback. I really like getting this. It gives us something to build on, and as we're new to this, as we're building into new pieces of kit, like pop filters from China, and then we're building into other mic filters and we're learning how to do this ourselves. This feedback is as important as positive nods of encouragement, because you can't just have yes men at your side. Yeah. Having a Naismith coming is great. James has given us some good feedback that we're going to try and address. The idea of one of us not really being interested, it's kind of a natural thing of having a conversation where not everyone is going to be into it the whole time.
Yeah, you're not going to hang off every single word that the other person's saying.
Like, really, please tell me about Echo the Dolphin Warrior, whatever it is. We'll talk about that later.
I am 100% interested in American Sniper. I did not find it just complete and utter American propaganda. Tell me more.
Please go on about that thing you saw. Sometimes it comes across as one of us isn't interested, or I will sometimes tone down my interest so that I make Dom explain more. Kind of a dick move on my part, but it's something I like to do, is try and tease a little bit more out, because I might know what he's talking about, or I might already have some pre-existing knowledge about it.
Like a little soupçon of what I'm talking about.
I might have a bias as well.
Yeah.
I might want to try and shove that to the side, feign a lack of interest, and then kind of force you into telling more so that someone listening to it gets more, but that's totally fine. I mean, sometimes when you get topics of conversation, you just don't give a fuck. Yeah. And that's fine.
I think at this point, no offence to my co-host, but I'm done with Warhammer. 100%, I'm done with it.
I can see why, my friend. It's an expensive fucking hobby. I'm looking at it right now.
I could buy a new Chaos Army, or I could buy a new laptop. It's left hand, right hand. Yes, no, black and white. I think I'm just going to go with I'm going to get more use out of, and I'm going to get less frustrated at. I'm going to buy the laptop over the new Chaos Army.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I totally get that. And
and I understand that Colin doesn't really give a shit about Doctor Who.
I'm so done with that fucking show.
It's been going on for 40 years, you understand. But we do understand that we're not going to be interested in completely the same things, and I think that's what kind of makes the show work a bit more. Because if it was the same thing, we'd be like, yes, that did happen, and that's why I like it. It's better if we have.
That's why I like it too, buddy. Yeah. And we clink glasses, and we're done.
Then the Happy Days theme tune, and we stroll down the street.
Yeah.
No one wants to hear that, but people want to hear more dynamic things, and if it doesn't, we'll make more of an effort to collude notes, so we don't really. It's not as standoffishly. Yeah, that happened. Let's talk about something else.
Yeah. The reviewer thing is an interesting point as well, and I get where he's coming from in that one. But the one thing we want to point out is we're trying to be humorous about some of this stuff. We can't force jokes into this thing. If you aren't going to make a joke, and we have no laugh track, we have no live audience, we can't really force a joke, make it land, or try and make it land, and then have like a second or two of dead silence. That ends badly. I promise you that one.
Because I try to be funny in quite a lot of my everyday life. Just when I'm talking to people, I try and be funny, and there's nothing worse than the groan or the moan that you get from someone sitting across from you, or you get I'd prefer that you just shut up, stop talking. There's nothing worse than hearing that. And it's when you're trying to do a podcast and the only person in the room is your co-host, there's nothing worse than getting that look across the mic of, dude, just shut up, that joke is not working.
Yeah, but please leave aside the Mega Man fisting his own anus jokes. They're not funny. Although they are kind of funny.
I don't think I've made any.
He's using the cannon. It's obviously, as long as he loads it up, it could work, but it's just that large entry barrel that's going to be
extremely dangerous.
You're not easing into it.
Because bear in mind, Mega Man can fire saw blades, napalm, and all this various other shit from his arm cannon. You got to figure if Mega Man gets too into it and hits the trigger, whoever he's fisting, massive explosion.
You could use the napalm and call it a cleanse, I guess.
A deep fire cleanse.
Napalm enema, motherfucker. Welcome to health, Mega Man style. The other thing was...
You want your colon removed? Metal blade, straight up the middle.
Oof. It's smooth, definitely smooth, but also kind of not there anymore.
Yeah. You're now two halves of one person.
The reviewing thing, I can get that, but I think a review can be more helpful in some ways. I don't mind trying to make it funny, but at the same time, I feel like someone might want an opinion on something, and they're looking for a yay or nay, ultimately, on certain things. Not everything needs to be a review, but also not everything needs to be humour. Sometimes you want to say, this is a really good thing, you should check it, or this is something I really enjoyed, without trying to be funny about it, because somebody else might be looking for something. I
think what James is ultimately getting at is when we were, especially in the download episode, we didn't really go too in depth into everything. But just mainly because for me is I've never done anything like this before. I've done radio before, but that was slight things that I used to do with my dad, and every so often I'd put on a song and introduce it and do a bit of talking. I was very nervous doing that. And with this, it's the first time I've been in front of a mic in a while. I just want to make this as good as possible. Nerves kick in, you tend to ramble on a bit too long, kind of like I'm doing now. And you start to fumble up and everything becomes stagnant. And it sounds more like a review. It's not the intention to make it sound like a review, but for me personally, it's just nerves. That it becomes that kind of, and it was pretty good. I like this aspect and that aspect. I will try and lighten it up and try and riff on things a bit, but it tends for me, it just comes down to nerves. Because I tend to get worried about things like, I need to make that better, and I try and add things on.
Yeah. And it's great feedback, and he is saying he did think we're improving, which is great to know.
Yeah, and that's the main thing to take away from that. We're getting better.
I'd be pretty pissed if we started off golden and couldn't improve beyond that.
If the San Diego Comic-Con episode was our peak, then we've just plummeted down.
I wouldn't say peak, but if we hit that level and then just maintained it somehow, if it was good and then came back down, it wasn't good. But if we tried to maintain that level rather than trying to improve, and this feedback helps with that.
Yeah, definitely. More feedback the better, and you can send us feedback at gibberpish@outlook.com, or you can hit us up on Twitter at Gibberpish.
Yeah, or if you know either one of us personally on Facebook, go for that as well.
If you've got us on Facebook, just send us a quick message. I will be more than happy to read it out on the show, as long as it's not just completely and utterly blasting one of us.
Nah, I'm cool with that. Hit me up. I love that shit, especially if I get to read it in a dopey voice. I'm okay with that.
Sure, yeah. The floodgates have been open, even if you want to critique one of us in any way possible. You've seen my Facebook profile photo for the week and you think, that's dumb. You want to rip on the red DC shirt that I'm wearing in it? Go for it. The floodgates are now open.
Yeah. Hit me up. What you got, bro? Fight me IRL. I got a lot of the fight me IRL from watching like the Twitch streams and stuff. I love watching Twitch streams of Dark Souls. I play the game myself. Watching people who are good at it play, fantastic. Absolutely love it. And I spent the week off last week, as I mentioned. I did try and watch some anime on Crunchyroll, we'll get to that later, but Twitch has been my main source of entertainment for two reasons. One, because I love watching Dark Souls players who are good, and two, because we got to watch Summer Games done quick, which is an absolutely fantastic cause we'd love to wax lyrical about.
Yeah, we will. We will do just that. Because with Summer Games done quick, I think the best way to describe it is it's a charity event where speedrunners, glitch runners, any percent runners from all across the world meet in, is it Washington?
I think so, yes.
They meet in Washington and they raise money for a humanitarian organisation called Doctors Without Borders. All the proceeds from the auctions that they do, because they auction off really, really cool game memorabilia. I didn't pick up on it so much this year because my PC blew up.
Nice.
I tried to fit a new graphics card, I burnt out a cable.
Shit. Okay.
And now you get a whole new fucking tower. Not happy about it at all.
Yeah.
I need to rip out the motherboard hard drive. Anyway, It didn't pick up so much in the auction, but they auctioned away really cool game memorabilia. Like last year, they auctioned away some cool hand-painted game art. Like the Zelda from the Minish Cap, there's a big stained glass window with Link holding up the Master Sword.
Right.
Someone hand-painted that and sold it for $40. The thing looks brilliant. And they auctioned away, someone handmade a Majora's Mask from Zelda. Someone auctioned away a limited edition Street Fighter 2 lunchbox and sold for about $150. It's a good place to go if you want to pick up some really cool game stuff that you perhaps would never see anywhere else. And all the proceeds go to this humanitarian organisation, Doctors Without Borders.
And it does come across as a great way for companies to really give one more thing back to not just the gaming community, but something bigger.
Yeah.
So there's always sponsorship by various people. I think this year they were sponsored by
Alienware Humble Bundle, which is a really good service that I cannot recommend enough.
Yeah.
Humble Bundle is, you'll get, as the name suggests, you get different bundles of games and you pay what you want for it. I think you can't pay anything less than $1.
Yeah.
And you can pay anything upwards of about 100. But the more you pay, the more you get with it. If you pay $1, you just get those bundle of games. But if you pay $5, you get those bundle of games and a soundtrack. You pay $10, you get bundle of games, special edition. So on and so forth until you get the limited edition of that game where they send you out some free goodies. And it changes from month to month. Where you get, 1 week it will be IDOS, so you'll get all the old Abe's Odyssey, Tomb Raider, all those old games. And the following month it will be Ubisoft, and you'll get Tom Clancy, all those games. It changes from month to month.
And this started, I think, on Steam with indie games, but it's one of those things that grows up. And we had various sponsors this year. I saw the Alienware were basically giving a laptop or a computer away to people.
A gamer rig.
Yeah, proper heavy-end PC to play all the basically modern games on. I think it could handle most of what they were.
It could probably even handle Crisis.
Really? That's impressive. I think now the benchmark seems to be Witcher 3 for some reason. Probably because there hasn't been a Crisis game in a while.
Yeah, because Crisis 1, good game. It just seemed like a reskinned Far Cry. Then Crisis 2 was shite. Crisis 3 was... Oh, it was fucking dog shit. So I played them all on Xbox. I have them all on Xbox. I wish I didn't, but I do. They're a thing that take up space in my game collection.
Most people justify that game on if we crank the PC up as high as it can go and stand back for 5 minutes, let it render and then run. It's the test of how good a game can look from out the box without mods. But they were willing to raffle off a console. If you donated a certain amount, you were put into a raffle at the end of the entire, I think it's, how should we term this, like a convention? Because it is groups of people coming in to do stuff.
I think it could be
marathon.
I think it could be described as a convention, or like you say, a marathon, because this doesn't stop. It starts at a certain time in the morning and goes all the way through till the next day.
I think it lasts over the course of a week.
It starts on...
They played 160 games, even with speedrunners. Roughly, I mean, these guys are clocking in a whole game under an hour.
Yeah.
I think even then, that still qualifies as a week worth of game.
I think it starts on the 27th or the 26th of July and finishes August the 1st.
Yeah. So it's a lot of games.
5 days worth of just people speedrunning games.
And impressively, with donations coming in through people just dropping little bits of money, people bidding on these high-end items. There's a PS4 up for grabs as well.
It was $50 minimum buy.
$50 donation and you could be qualified for getting a PS4. That's worth a shot, especially if you've got charity money.
If you've got some money that you want to put to a good cause, Summer Games are quite absolutely the best way to do it.
Doctors Without Borders, with recent outbreaks of stuff like Ebola, can't really knock a
you can't really
charity organisation willing to go around the world and help people with these kind of problems.
Yeah, and what better way to do it than give money to guys who are playing your favourite video games?
You can learn a lot through these games. There's some stuff I didn't care for. Like, I didn't really enjoy the Echo 2, The Tides of Time. You're a time-travelling dolphin, and it basically was an old game that had been broken to pieces. It's like a 20-year-old game, and it's impressive how well this guy's memorised it. Didn't enjoy the game, though. No, it was more fun to watch someone tear this thing apart.
I own Echo 1 for the Mega Drive, and every time I play it, I never really understood what the hell it was I was meant to do. I thought you were just meant to swim about and collect these little points, but then I found out there's a huge story to it, where you have to hit these certain portals, and you have to fight various bosses by making them crash into coral reefs and shit like that. I never understood that there was a big story to it. Yeah,
it's interesting to see a game that's centred around a dolphin as well. I managed to watch Earthworm Jim being speedrunned as well. I like Earthworm Jim. I'm very, very bad at it. It's quite a hard game. For me it is.
It falls under the category of old school hard, where you get old school NES, SNES, Mega Drive games that are just fucking solid. Prime example, Battletoads.
Yeah.
That game is just stupidly hard. Hats off to anyone who can play that game, even complete it normally, never mind speedrun or glitch run it.
Yeah. And this is one thing as well, is the glitch runs, is that some people are deliberately breaking the game in different ways. Some people are going through and not cheating, but using the fastest, most efficient way possible. Some people are just going straight in to break the game.
Yeah. Well, glitch runs, they fall into two categories. You get people, like you said, who are just straight out breaking the game, but then you get other people who just find that little exploit in the game, like in Super Mario 64 for the Nintendo 64. Someone found a glitch that if you go to the final boss door with about 4 or 5 stars and double tap, stand with your back facing the door and double tap the backflip button, you backflip all the way up the stairs and you get into the final boss room. You don't have to do anything to it. It's pretty cool. It's just pretty cool that someone's found out that they can do that.
And it's a lot of these games are older.
Yeah.
So I was watching it on the laptop, pretty decent laptop, watching it through Twitch on the high settings, and a lot of the screen is taken up by the camera of the people playing it, which is always interesting. They play in front of a live audience as well. If you want to show up and watch these, I'm pretty sure there's an admission charge, but again, that is probably charitable.
Like you said, it's a convention, so I think people buy tickets to go and sit and watch it.
Yeah, you can walk into a room and watch someone play. I think they did speedruns of stuff like Dark Souls, a couple of the Witcher maybe games, and a Fallout game.
Yeah.
Someone was aiming for Fallout in under 3 hours.
Yeah, there was someone that done Elder Scrolls Oblivion in 48 minutes.
I've heard that is possible. You basically just ignore everyone in a conversation and run straight for the next thing.
You go, instead of, I don't know how many Oblivion gates there are, but there's 3 main Oblivion gates that you can destroy. You destroy them, and you basically overdose on skooma. You just take skooma as
it's the drug in the game.
It damages your intelligence, but it boosts your speed and everything else about you. So this guy kept going from Oblivion Gate to Oblivion Gate, doing minor quests to get certain items, getting those items, taking as much skooma as possible to limit the amount of time that he was on the map, then going to beat the final boss, and I'm pretty sure he beat the final boss within seconds because of this exploit. And it was absolutely outstanding, because when I see Elder Scrolls, I think these games are going to take hundreds of hours to complete. It's cool to see them do it in 50 minutes.
And I, on the other hand, enjoy sitting there for 4 hours walking through the woodlands, hacking at bears and trolls, because I'm just that kind of sadistic person. And yet I will sit and watch speedruns endlessly, because sometimes it's so fascinating. Speedruns are fun. I find glitch runs to be a little bit harder to watch, because you're watching someone deliberately try and break the game in a different way. Like, have you seen the 7-minute Mario run where the guy reprograms the entire game?
I have not seen that.
It's the new world record, and it's based on a glitch and an exploit someone found where you, by pushing certain objects in certain ways, or by stacking different objects while holding other objects, you can break the game, and it just cuts you straight to the end credits. Gives you the complete.
I have seen the other. It's not a glitch run, it's an exploit in the game. If you hit a certain pipe on the first level, or on one of the underground levels, if you punch up through one of the blocks and go left, it takes you to a teleport, essentially, where you can pick what level you want to go to. Then you go to 4th level, then you go into another underground section, then the next part of that level, and it takes you straight to level 8. And you can just do that, using that exploit, you can finish the game in about 10 minutes.
It's really interesting to see some of these people. And this is like a really top level of breaking stuff. It's like the guys who can complete Tetris and become a Tetris Grandmaster. But this charitable event is fantastic. Final total of donations, $1.2 million. Damn.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of money. When you consider that none of this, there's no big organisations pouring money into it, per se. You get people topping off donations.
Yeah.
Like, the developers of Dust Force, they wanted, when they were doing the speedrun in Dust Force, there was a donation going to try and get the super secret, hardest level in the game done. And they didn't quite get it up to a certain point. They were damn close, but then the developers from Dust Force, they went, right, you're only 1,000 away from it. Like, I'll top it off. We'll put in that 1,000 and you'll get up to that benchmark so we can see this extra level in Dust Force. You get developers putting in that extra bit of money so they can raise more to give the fans, or to give the viewers what they're after.
Yeah, it's a great way of combining the community and the industry.
Yeah.
All through charity, which is, I can't think of a better way to do it, really. There's a lot of shit in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
And seeing
it's nice to see
good.
Like you said, it's nice to see the good. It's nice to see the game community coming together and using their, at this point, superpowers for good.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I mean, I'm the world's worst Mario player. I cannot get past level 4 in any Mario game to save myself. It's nice to see these people who could do it normally, complete the game in, say, half an hour. It's nice to see them coming together and putting their skills to use for a charity.
It is great cause, and in the end, $1.2 million is nothing to sniff at.
Yeah. A lot of money that's going to a good cause. It's going to get a lot of people that need to get a vaccine. They're going to get that vaccine because of some guy who's used to sitting in his basement playing Mario. He's now done it in front of several thousand people, and they've reached into the pockets and gave this guy some scratch.
I was keeping an eye on it. I wasn't able to watch all of it, but I went on and there was never anything less than 8,000 people watching that stream at any given time.
Yeah, because it's not just the people that are at the event, it's the people all across the globe that are watching it on Twitch.
Twitch is a great service for watching it, and that's what I watched it through. So
yeah, I watched some of it through the website, but then some of it through the Twitch stream. Although most of it on my phone, because as aforementioned, my PC blew up.
Yeah.
Which, quite frankly, bites the big one, but it means I get to go and get a new laptop and a new PC.
And a new PC.
Well, I won't be using the PC. PC's more for my brother. The laptop will be for me in schoolwork. The laptop will be for when Gordon wants to play Team Fortress 2.
On the subject of games online, I spent last night dicking around on a game. It was quite fun, but it was really... I had an issue with it. It's a Steam free-to-play game. I think it's called Codename Cure. And it wasn't too bad. First-person shooter, or third-person, maybe? I can't remember. But you shoot around against zombie hordes because it's Steam. Steam is infested with zombies in a way you wouldn't believe.
Ever since The Walking Dead became a thing, zombies are now fucking everywhere.
Yeah, pretty ubiquitous. There's a new show I keep getting told to watch, and I really can't commit to actually watching it because I don't want to.
It's not iZombie, is it?
No, it's Zombie Nation. Or Z Nation or something.
Never heard of Zombie Nation.
I just have no interest in it.
iZombie seems like the bastard child of Twilight and that shitty Warm Bodies film that came out, where they found out that the cure for the fucking zombie apocalypse is love.
Yeah, I just threw up a little.
Yeah, I did throw up.
Several times all across the theatre when you realise just what you're watching.
Yeah, because zombies are meant to be this unkillable thing that you can't reason with. Not this thing where you show up, you look cute, and this thing falls in love with you and all of a sudden he's not a zombie anymore. Even though it is Nicholas Hoult, the guy who plays Beast in the X-Men films, go fuck yourself.
That there are different ideas about zombies and different cultures have different takes on a zombie and what it means to be returned from the dead. Like I think the traditional Vodun or Voodoo style of zombie is completely different to the Western idea.
Yeah, not flesh eating.
Yeah, knocked down by a plague, get back up 5 minutes later with a crazed look in your eye and really hungry for some reason. But the background of all those is the cure is a bullet to the head, not take them out for a lovely dinner and show them that zombies are people too. Because no one wants to fucking see a story about a drooling, blood-curdling zombie who is used to going out there and tearing people's brains out and eating them. No one wants to see that guy having a sit-down dinner with a pretty-looking blonde girl. Show us the pretty-looking blonde girl being badass and blowing fucking people away. Like, give us... What was the name of that film with Mina Suvari in it? It's one of the Dead films. Oh, wow.
It might be Night of the Dead. She plays a member of the army.
I can only think of one right now, and it's the one with...
It might be Night of the Living Dead.
Maybe. I'm not too good with the names of them, because they are so similar.
Yeah. Show us that film where the love interest is blowing zombies away. And there's a very disturbing sex scene in this Warm Bodies film, where she tries to.
Right.
All I could think of was, it's a fucking zombie! Don't try and put its little zombie in your mouth.
I like the...
Go away.
The joke about Twilight, that's the Twilight, one woman's story about the choice between bestiality and necrophilia. That's basically what it comes down to these things.
When you boil it down, it's one woman's choice between I can fuck a corpse or I can fuck a hairy dog.
Yeah. But we had... I was playing this last night, and my mouse wouldn't work because I'm playing it on a laptop that has a tracker pad. First of all, fuck tracker pads.
Yeah, fuck tracker pads.
I have a new mouse, and I went through and reassigned the firing button, which is supposed to be mouse 1, which is also your left click, because I'm right-handed, onto mouse 5, which is a little side scroll button at the side of the mouse. If I'm on a web browser, that actually takes me back and forward through pages I've already opened. Kinda cool. Kind of a dick move when you accidentally press it and come out of the thing you were watching and have to go back again, but... Not too bad. I think it was confusing the fact that my ginger beer, can't wait to edit this. I think it was confusing the fact that my left button on my tracker pad wasn't being used, but the left button on my mouse was. So I reassigned it to a different button which had no equivalent, and just started firing away. And it literally went from me being an idiot to me going into full beast mode and just slaughtering zombies. It showed there was a kill-death ratio thing that kept coming up, and it kept showing me at the bottom of the table. The second I got it figured out and fixed, top of the table. I'm not a great gamer.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at shooting things in the head. I'm very good at shooting things in the head with a shotgun.
You don't need to aim with a shotgun.
Well, my trick was to stand in a doorway as the zombie horde was approaching, empty out the shotgun, reload, empty out the shotgun. It worked.
Lather, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, the only thing that really screwed with me was you had heavily armoured zombies that are... But you're the police, you're the special response unit or whatever, and other riot cops or people who had fallen in the military to dealing with this infection kept showing up randomly, and you'd have random spawns of guys wearing heavy armour, basically zombies.
Yeah.
It's quite a good pace breaker of, I'm going to waste this room full of... Oh shit, there's one guy who didn't go down after
it's like the tanks in Left 4 Dead. You just get a nice easy wave of blasting through hordes of zombies, and all of a sudden a tank comes out of nowhere and throws you against the wall.
Slightly different, because the tank is very aggressive in Left 4 Dead. They come after you and you're fucked.
Yeah.
This thing is different because it's genuinely just a meat shield. It's taking extra hits. And it's a little bit bigger, but you're a little bit bigger as well.
Yeah.
It's also blocking line of sight that you can get to the zombies. So it's interesting to see it play out that way, but it was kind of fun, and I'm also going to look into another free-to-play game next week, which I hope has a bit more polish than this. Although I will say the one last thing about the codename Cure, if you can't communicate to people through a Steam game, even though you are actually using the voice command, which was quite nice that you could turn it off, you'd activate it by holding down a button, speak through a microphone, everyone would hear you, you lift the button, no more speaking, so you didn't have that crackle of mic effect.
Yeah. Pretty
good, I like it. If you can't communicate through that, despite me seeing you do that earlier in the match, don't communicate with your teammates online by shooting people. I had one guy, I was moving away from the group because they were mopping up the last of the zombies. I was like, right, let's go check out the rest of this hall. Walk down the corridor, shotgun drawn, flashlight on, checking all the corners, stuff like that. And a guy spots me, fires twice in my direction. I've seen him using the mic before. He knows how to use it.
He knows that the Q button
is the V button is to push the top, because V for voice command.
Yeah.
Pretty decent control scheme. Fairly standardised, I hope.
Yeah.
Fairly logical. And he shoots twice in my direction. I lose some health. Bit of a dick move. I then turn around to see him. He comes running up to me, pauses for a second to look me dead in the eye, then takes my head off with a shotgun. What the fuck is that? That completely pointless. I now have to wait for the respawn. You have to clear the room. At that point, by the way, every now and again, you'll have zombies kind of trickle in, one or two at a time from different rooms. Occasionally one of the armoured zombies appears to slow down your gameplay. Then suddenly there'll be a yelling noise in the background, and then the horde appears. Interesting little mechanic that randomly every now and again, I think it's like there's a sequence of events like you walk through this door, somebody yells,
then you set off a trap, then that noise reverberates, and all of a sudden you've got zombies fucking everywhere.
It does tend to happen as soon as you push a button.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. Very Left 4 Dead, very good, but that happened as soon as I died. So the entire team of 4 people, and then me as the 5th person, had to then clean the room out of a zombie horde before I could spawn back, because some guy was being a dick online.
Yeah, because some guy couldn't take the second to hit the voice chat button to say, I need to go over here and deal with this.
Hey, can you come back? And just a dick move. And it's an online etiquette thing that I expect to have a lot worse of an experience with. The next game I'm going to try and play, just to try and give it a go, because I've heard a lot about it, Dota 2, Defense of the Ancients. It's the World of Warcraft expansion. Free-to-play MOBA game.
I can't stand MOBA games. I tried to play League of Legends for a while. Credit to the people that I played with. Just really invested in the League of Legends community. They're really, really good players. I just couldn't get in it. I'm not a button mashy type. I even play fighting games primarily. Yeah. I don't like button mashing games, and it felt very button mashy to me, because you're hitting one, which is one of your first skills, and you'll fire out. The character I was playing as was a dude called Olaf, and he had axes and shit. I thought, hey, let's see a dwarf, I'll play as him. His first ability was he threw an axe, and that was one of his strongest attacks. And because I hadn't leveled him up, as you level up, you get more abilities through the game.
Right.
So as soon as you hit a certain level, that character, your summoner level only goes up to 20, but your character levels up differently. And in game, as you progress through the levels, you get different abilities. Yeah. So I just had this one ability, it was the strongest ability I had, and it was clearing out enemies, but it had about a 15-20 second cooldown. And in a pretty fast-paced game like League of Legends, or the fast-paced game that I was in, playing with all these high-level characters, I was getting the shit kicked out of me. And then that's how it goes. As you level up, other people that are better at the game are also adapting their playstyles. And it's not a noob-friendly game, put it that way.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to walking into a game that people are established in, and basically I'm going to have my ass handed to me for the first while. I don't know how well it's going to pan out for the next week or two when I'm playing it, but it's free to play. I figure I might as well try and delve into one of these games at least, and why not go for the one that doesn't cost me a lot of money by being free. Yeah. Although I'm fully expecting to my ass handed to me and just come up next week and go, yeah, fuck these games.
Yeah, fuck Dota 2.
Yeah, fuck Dota 2, fuck all your little mobile pals, and fuck all this bullshit, I'm leaving. Okay, thanks, bye.
Yeah, screw you guys, I'm going to go play something. I'm going to go back to Codename Cure.
I'm going to go back to Codename Cure and Dark Souls 24/7, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's a bit of a phenomenon that's coming about now. Free-to-play games, you'd never think, back when you first started playing games, just how expensive shit was. You'd never think, a few years, all these games will just be going free-to-play, because the free-to-play library on Steam is pretty big at this point.
Yeah.
Because you've got big titles like Team Fortress 2, which you used to have to pay for, which is now free-to-play. It's went freemium, where you get the game for free, but you can buy in-game content for, say, you can get crates of stuff, which is about £7, and in that crate you get different weapons, clothing items, cosmetic items and shit.
The question is, and this is something that comes up on a lot of content that I quite like, is asking the question, is it free to play, or is it free to win? Are you being held off from different game content that's essential to the playing experience, or essential to enjoying the experience, unless you pay the money?
Well, that's the thing with Team Fortress 2. You get, every class has a set of weapons. All the weapons deal roughly the same damage. A couple ones sacrifice damage, but they boost your running speed. And those are the items that you can get in-game. You can just get them through natural trading, or you can buy them. Yeah. It's not a free to win, because you get the tools to win a match at the start of the game.
Yeah.
As soon as you buy the game, the soldier has a shotgun, his melee weapon's a shovel, like a trench digging shovel. He's got his rocket launcher, which is his main weapon. He has all these at the start. Same with your scout, he's got his baseball bat, his shotgun, he's got an energy drink that gives him a little Roadrunner type boost, makes him run faster and hit harder.
Mm-hmm.
He has all these things at the start, but then you can go into the Team Fortress store, and you can go, alright, if I leave his energy drink and I buy this other item is going to make him run faster for longer, but the cooldown's going to be more. It's all about buying things to supplement them, but you don't really need to.
The correct balancing act is fine. The correct kind of gates against how much people are paying is fine. It's when you have games that are basically just wearing you down and saying, oh, you can play it for free, but eventually you're going to spend money because we built the game this way. From what you're describing of Team Fortress 2, I don't see that being in the category of free to win. No, but there are games out there that I'd advise people stay the hell away from.
Yeah, like clicker games are becoming a huge thing now.
If you see the phrase free to win or free to play is another one as well. But there's different terms for this.
Free to play.
If you are trying to, free to play is slightly different in that the game is almost unplayable unless you start throwing money at it. Dungeon Keeper was one that someone highlighted. I think it was Jim Sterling said you cannot play this game realistically without throwing money at it because everything takes so long. And it's a lie, basically, that they're trying to feed you that, yeah, this game's totally free, you can enjoy it on your iPad and all that. And then it takes like 4 days to actually do anything.
Spend £40 on getting these little crop upgrades so you can actually grow potatoes to make your farm work.
Yeah.
That's why I don't like playing games like that. I'd rather buy a complete game and play it out over a certain way. Which is what Capcom got in quite a bit of trouble for with Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Because they put out a game and they said DLC's coming, but then the code breakers and the people who like to delve into the game's root code found that all the DLC characters were already on the disc.
That's a motherfucker that's come up before it, and people keep getting caught for it, and then other companies keep trying it.
Yeah, but Capcom have actually rectified that, which is something which I'm very, very glad of this. All the updates for Street Fighter 5 free. All of them are going to be free. All the DLC characters that they were going to announce, they've doubled back on it because they've got more space to work with in the PlayStation 4. The disc space is a lot bigger. All the characters that they were going to release in DLC, with the exception of Akuma is the only character that you have to buy. And that is day one DLC if you bought the game on day one. All the other characters are in the game. They will be released to keep you playing the game. They're not going to be all available on the disc at once. They're going to release little updates saying, right now you can do that challenge to unlock Sean from Street Fighter 3. you can now unlock him, but now the update has made him available. He's on the disc, but you have to wait a while for him to be available.
That's not so bad.
I just like the fact that Capcom is not going to do the stupid thing of giving us, oh, you've got Street Fighter 4, now you've got Super Street Fighter 4, now you've got Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, now you've got Super Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition 2012. Now you have Ultra Street Fighter 4. After 5 editions of Street Fighter 4, they finally gave in and said, right, fuck it, we'll do Street Fighter 5, we'll make it better, and we'll give them all the characters for free, but we'll timescale them. So you can get them all in-game without paying a penny, but you just need to wait for that update to come out, which I think is a much better way of doing things than releasing $20 to $30 expansions, which could easily just be an update file.
Yeah. It does seem, though, that they kind of got caught with their pants down on that one. Like, they went, oh, well, I guess you guys can have it for free. You found us. Haha, all fun and games. Whereas I think it was, it's good PR, basically. It's kind of, sorry about us trying to scam you for money. Like, I don't want people to forget that they tried to scam you for money as well.
Yeah, because Capcom are getting a hell of a bad rap nowadays.
What did they do this time? There are a lot of game companies getting a bad rap. I think we can talk about that for a long time. But what did Capcom do recently?
Just their general attitude towards the fans, because they canned, like I said on the last episode, they canned Mega Man Legends 3 because the fans got too invested in it. And they're currently testing the water for a Resident Evil 2 HD remake, which Resident Evil 2 being my favourite Resident Evil title of all time. It's probably my favourite game of all time. They're going to give us an HD remake, but they want to know if we want it first. It just makes me think, why the fuck are you actually doing that? You know, through countless mediums, emails, tweets, Facebook messages, that people want a Resident Evil 2 HD remake in the style of Resident Evil 0, with the fully fleshed, massive 3D characters, no blocky PlayStation 2 era graphics anymore. PlayStation 1 era graphics anymore. We want a fully HD game with this game that we've loved for years. We want a new version of that. Why did you deem it necessary to have a couple of PR representatives go out going, hey, you're a Capcom fan, do you want a Resident Evil 2 HD remake? I'm pretty sure if they'd done that in real life, if instead of putting it out on the internet, if they actually had people going out and do a poll or a survey, somebody would have got punched in the fucking face a few times. If they asked me, I would have punched them in the face. Yeah, Resident Evil 2 is my favourite game of all time. I own 3 copies. Yes, I want a fucking HD remake. What the fuck is wrong with you, Capcom?
Yeah, some companies do not handle PR well. Some companies, however, handle nothing well.
No.
Shall we go for Konami?
Yeah, let's go for Konami. Let's talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about Solid Snake and how he's being made to clean out his gym and clean out the pachinko machines.
Yeah, so basically Konami has been going through some shit recently. They have had a spat with...
I think shit might be an understatement.
We're going to build to the true level of shit that we reveal here. They had a spat with Hideo Kojima, one of the main guys, huge director.
Yeah, absolutely. At a certain point, Konami was on his back. He was carrying Konami.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid, huge game franchise, does well in Japan and America, does okay in Europe, I think.
It's the other way about. It does well in Europe, does really well in the US, does not sell well in Japan. Metal Gear Solid 4 tanked. No one wanted that game. And we're going to get further into it, but in a report that they brought from from Japan right at the time Metal Gear Solid 4 came out, and now they've went back to it again with Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, which was the prequel to Phantom Pain. Japanese fans aren't interested in Metal Gear anymore. No one cares about it, and that's why Kojima left, because Konami are a Japanese gaming company, a Japanese game developing company, and the people that they're marketing their games to don't want these games anymore. So they're just, fuck it, we'll gambling's legal in Japan now.
They recently legalized gambling, and Konami are trying to monetize that, but I thought it was doing well in Japan because it was I thought it was a very Western game since the beginning, and I thought Japan might be interested in that, same way that we're very interested in their stuff.
No, Japan don't care about Metal Gear anymore.
Interesting.
I have no idea why. Because as much as I don't like the Metal Gear games, well, as much as it's not that I don't like them, I can't play them. My tactic is very, very barbarian, where I just go, because I play a lot of hack and slashes, a lot of fighting games. I don't defend in fighting games. I don't defend in hack and slashes. I just prefer to go in and cause as much damage as humanly possible.
I'm not going to be Solid Snake. I'm going to be Rambo.
Yeah, I'm going to be Conan the Barbarian. I'm just going to run in and smash people and shit what is best in life. But Metal Gear, it tells you, yeah, you can do that, but you're going to get the true ending of the game. If you sneak all the way through these parts, you're going to get extra achievements and bonus items and shit, which is fair enough, but I cannot sneak for the life of me.
Right.
Which is why I don't play Metal Gear games, but they are really good games with a backstory that would make anyone's jaw drop. There's a hell of a lot of story to those games.
This is so much story, it's mind-boggling, and I thought that would do well in Japan, apparently not. But the West has grabbed it and loves it.
Yeah.
So we're willing to kind of shelter Kojima as long as he wants to kind of hang out with us.
I would personally ask Kojima if he wants to stay over at my house, as long as Kojima and Guillermo del Toro make Silent Hills.
They are not working on Silent Hills anymore. They are working on something, they can't work on...
It's basically going to be Silent Hills under a different name.
Yeah.
Because Norman Reedus still wants to do it.
Yeah.
He was on board for that.
He did. I remember seeing comments on him saying it's very sad that's not happening after PT got pulled. But the thing about PT, my brother downloaded it and he went to get it on his PS4 because I was talking about this to him. And he was like, "Oh no, I've got it on my console," and I'd known that it got pulled from the store completely, so you can't go back and re-download it.
Yeah.
So he was like, "No, I'm just going to go get it and I'll boot it up and show you what it's like." And he couldn't download it because it is still gone. There's nothing. It hasn't come back or hasn't been hit.
It's not been wiped off people's hard drives though. So if you had it and didn't delete it, it's still there.
If you delete it, fucked.
Yeah.
He obviously was looking to save space and download something else.
It was like when
He got Rocket League though. That's pretty fun. I'd take Rocket League.
Rocket League. Is that when you drive like
you're a
high-powered
football
vehicle?
playing car?
Yeah.
Remote control car. Pretty awesome.
Seen a couple of people play that on YouTube. Again, it's one of those really cool looking games that I'd want to play, but my PC's nowhere near powerful enough. It might be after I get a new one.
It's a game developed for streamers. It's pretty fun.
There's a lot of content like that, but I don't think they're making Silent Hills. For legal reasons, they cannot make Silent Hills, but they're going to go back and it'll be called Quiet Dunes or something like Quiet Knolls or something. It won't be called Silent Hills exactly, but it'll essentially will be Silent Hills.
Because to the annoyance of just about everyone, Konami are holding on to the brands and are now going to put it into pachinko machines, which are, as far as I understand, it's kind of like a slot machine, put in money, pull the handle.
I've kind of seen it like one of those little pinball machines where you pull the lever back,
maybe,
and you shoot the ball
arcades,
up, and there's little, there'll be like 100 score, which is right up top, then you've got 50, 10, or 50, 25, 10, 5, -5, and all that shit, and you basically just fire a ball, and it bounces about wherever it lands, you get that many points.
Yeah,
and
because they're keeping other titles like Castlevania.
Yeah. Well, there's a big uproar right now because one of the pachinko machines that they're making features erotic art of a Castlevania succubus, and fans of Castlevania are losing their shit over it.
Yeah, I've watched the trailer. It's about 1.5 minutes, and it is garbage. I'd imagine if you were a fan of this series and you saw this being done to your favourite childhood character, you'd probably lose your shit.
A lot of people are annoyed about it.
And I say my favourite, and I say it's the favourite because it's the most gaudy example of what is being done here. Is there? I think it might be on the succubus. The first thing you see of a succubus is one just landing down, and the shot is off her ass with the tail coming out of the top of her bikini.
I've heard of the trailer. I didn't know there was. I've heard of images, but I didn't know there was a trailer that went along with it.
Yeah, it's 1.5 minutes long. But the next one is a succubus kind of power sliding. If you're familiar with the Tenacious D movie and all that.
As in like crotch first.
Crotch first, but more to do with the fact that she bends back to avoid an incoming kind of magic missile type attack, and the magic missile just rides straight between the tits. And it's literally like some kind of horrifically pornographic shot of a magic missile just squeezing over her boobs to the point of it ripples them just a little bit. You can see the breast kind of move out of the way from the force of the magic missile type thing. It's horrifically stupid because this is them going, "Oh yeah, who gives a shit anymore? Let's just make."
We have these. Let's just make them overly sexy gambling machines.
Yeah. It's a shame because I'm about to start playing through Castlevania 2.
Lords of Shadow 2.
Yeah, the Lords of Shadow 2, because I like the Lords of Shadow series.
Yeah, it's good. I didn't play all the Lords of Shadow 2 because that game gets weird at points.
I'm willing to let it get weird. It's a game by a Japanese developer. I have no idea what I'm walking into half the time with these.
Yeah, gameplay-wise it gets pretty weird. Story-wise it's all over the fucking place. But if you can disregard the story and just play the good parts and like the good parts of the game, it can be enjoyable.
I saw Modern Day next to within 5 words of the word Dracula, and I was like, okay, this will be fun. This will be a nightmare, or it'll be fun. But yeah,
I'll have to finish the game before I give it a proper review, but I didn't like what I played. Lords of Shadow 1 I really enjoyed Lords of Shadow 1 because it had that Castlevania-esque setting. Castlevania, in my opinion, does not work when you take it out of a castle.
Yeah. And
you put it in a chemical
company.
It was
Devil May Cry, the Transylvania edition.
Yeah, pretty much. But even Devil May Cry was never really modern.
No, I'm talking about the first one. The second one, it's... I have not played that yet, so I'll get to that at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole Castlevania pachinko machine thing is basically, even still, it's a big slam on fans.
Yeah.
Still just the tip of the iceberg, because the article I sent you yesterday shows that company has went a little bit off the rails.
Yeah, it's treating its high-level game developers as high-level programmers, like janitors.
Yeah, well, to be fair, it's a very good system because they're treating everyone like dog shit. So that's equality for you.
It is equality. And the most depressing part of this is, I have read employment contracts, and the very, very shitty thing of it is, if you sign certain clauses, you can agree to be a top-level game programmer, but if you continue to read down your contract, there will be some tiny little piece of shit clause that says, if we need you to do other work, you are agreeing to do other work, no matter what it may be. Then there's a whole bunch of legislation and regulations underneath it that say why you're now legally bound to do this because you've signed this contract. The shitty thing is, it is all legal, and the people who were used to cushy jobs sitting in an office coding or programming or writing out or drawing out character sheets or writing out game story now have to go and clean out stanky gyms because Konami have said fuck video games, went to gambling, like we just mentioned, and fitness. A lot of Konami gyms all about the place. Yeah,
they have definitely taken a weird turn for us, and I'm going to explain our kind of source on all this because I think that's important. Is that it is an article by a newspaper called Nikkei.
Yeah.
And
translated by Kotaku.
Translated by Kotaku and various other sources around the internet. But the main one we seem to keep seeing is the Kotaku one, where it says that if an employee is deemed to be subpar performance, although some translations point to the word useless.
Yeah. The one that I seen, the article that you sent me is any employee deemed not useful, then the actual translation was useless.
Yeah.
To this new standard at Konami will be made to either work security or clean the gymnasium.
They can be reassigned within the company. And what's strange is this, if you had a performance-based system, I'd kind of get that, although dropping someone completely out of games development, because the thing is, you are now blackbarred from this thing. You are like, okay, you're never touching a computer again. Yeah. Go fuck yourself and clean a toilet. They have a weird system of it can be almost arbitrary. Like, the example given on the same article was that someone posted on their Facebook or social media, whatever, that they were going to leave Konami to do something else. They'd already handed in a notice. There was nothing really done to that guy. Everyone who approved, liked, or whatever commented on that status with anything positive was then listed, grabbed, and then reshuffled in their company. So, again, going to clean a gym, going to work security, whatever, you were basically reassigned because, for reasons, it seems like you're not loyal to the company.
Which has got to be a huge kick in the teeth for these, like I said, like I've said, the high-level programmers, developers, coders. It's got to be a kick in the teeth to them because they have spent years honing their craft, getting it down to fine art, getting used to the different little moving pieces of this job.
Developing new engines, whatever.
Yeah, and
now they don't make bad games as far as I'm aware. I've never seen games, somebody come out and go, this game's so fucking broken from Konami, I can't believe it.
I mean, their biggest sellers now, the only game that I think they sell now is Metal Gear. I can't think of another Konami title.
There was a soccer game, Pro Evolution Soccer.
Do they still do those?
They did. I don't think so anymore.
I think without the general population noticing, Konami have been slowly dissolving all their properties. Because I think the last game before maybe the Ground Zero was the Metal Gear Solid 5 Prelude. I think the last game we got was maybe Silent Hill HD.
But that's
and
the thing.
Zone Enders HD.
For all that they are dissolving it, they aren't really, because they're not getting rid of it. If they went and handed it off to someone else.
I think all these people who are working for Konami are going to go and find Koji Igarashi and they're going to make Konami 2.0, like the guys from Platinum did, because they were former Capcom.
Yeah.
And you've played Platinum games. You've heard of Metal Gear Rising and Bayonetta.
Yeah.
Platinum Incorporated, I think it may be, or Platinum Games. They are all former Clover Studios, which were the studio behind games like Beautiful Joe, some of the Resident Evil games, and a few other lesser known games like God Hand. They were working for those, then Capcom dissolved certain things. A lot of this came ahead when Keiji Inafune left, because he wasn't getting to do any more Mega Man.
Right.
And he just went, well, I'm going. And then a lot of people came with him. And then more people left after that. And they became Platinum Studios, which at this point are becoming the new Capcom. Because Capcom aren't doing as well as they think they are. With Street Fighter V, they might be doing better. And with games like Resident Evil Revelations 2, which sold pretty well from what I've seen, and games like Monster Hunter, which I think Capcom just put their name on it at this point. I don't think it's made by anyone in Capcom. They just say, this is still a Capcom title. You can go out and make it whatever way you want, but we still get to put our name on it.
I can't comment on that. I'm not as big a Capcom fan as I probably should be.
At this point, I don't think you really should be a Capcom fan.
Yeah,
it's not a good time to be a Capcom fan. Let me tell you.
We're looking at a lot of Japanese studios kind of changing or altering the way they do business, and it will change again because China's now allowing consoles in, and it's everyone. They had an open market for, I think it was the Ouya was allowed in, or some things were allowed in, and then they said, screw it, bring them all in. I mean, it's going to be different versions of what we enjoy. I don't think it'll be as open as it will be due to China being China.
Yeah. It'll be more heavily censored, but it'll still there'll be some interesting stuff coming out there in the next couple of years.
You've now opened the market to 1 billion people. I think the market will change for even Western developers maybe change a little bit.
It could go the complete other way though. You get some completely off the rails, weird as fuck shit.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, is we kind of expect an almost standardised level of games where things happen in a certain way. I think that might change soon, depending on how the whole thing with China goes. I'm not sure. But Konami's fall from grace is just kind of horrific to watch because there's some good or, regular people getting kind of fucked over in the middle of all this.
There's some smarter people that just have to sit back and deal with all this shit. People that have made your favourite games are just now having to deal with the fallout of this crap.
It's kind of sad and terrifying to watch. But you kind of want to know where it goes next.
Yeah, I will keep an eye on it because I hope they don't stick with this shit. Like, again, going back to Capcom, they tried to take away from... They posted 440 million yen to their mobile division of Capcom Japan. They don't make as many video games anymore. They've still got their games developing side, but they're focusing more on mobile development.
Yeah. The mobile market is huge when you consider how many smartphones there are compared to how many consoles there are.
Considering how many people are more willing to be on the move and play games on their mobile than they are willing to go home and play it on the big screen. I think Capcom's thinking behind that was, if we can corner that market, we are gold. But it's not really working for them because Capcom is a company that can't afford to sell anything cheap. So they're making their titles pretty damn expensive. It's like £14-15 for a mobile fruit machine game.
The most I paid for a mobile game was about £4.
I don't pay for any mobile games. If I have to pay more than £3, I'm not buying it. Because mobile games to me
they're a distraction. They're not an investment in time.
It's basically games that I can play while I'm shitting or while I'm on the train going to college or I'm on the train going somewhere. I can just bring it up and play for a couple of minutes. Just as, like you said, a little distraction, not something that I want to devote all my time and money to, or all my time and attention to. Because if I wanted to play... Because they've done a mobile version of Monster Hunter for the iPad. If I wanted to play Monster Hunter, I'd go and get my DS and play Monster Hunter 4.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay the same amount of money that I paid for the DS version to play it on my iPad, where it's a very toned down version of the game and it's incredibly hard to play.
I don't enjoy sometimes iPad or iOS games seem a bit gimmicky. Because an iPhone or iPad has a lot of stuff in there that you can play with, but I don't know why they can't just make a normal game, but I'm talking top-down stuff like that. You know what I mean? Some stuff just works. A lot of people trying to innovate kind of end up falling a bit on their face, and I worry that might happen with a lot of these developers trying to push into the mobile market really quickly, but you never know who's going to make it out. Kind of depends on, what sticks. But we'll see what happens, I guess, with all these developers pushing towards mobile and pushing towards the Asian market of games.
Yeah, that's something I probably won't keep that close an eye on, if I'm going to be honest. I don't really care about mobile games, unless it's portable games as in DS games, because I will keep a very close eye on that, because I want more Monster Hunter at this point.
Yeah.
Any more entries in that franchise would be good, because we just had Monster Hunter, I say recently, it's been out, I think it might have been out for about 6-7 months. We've got Monster Hunter 4, which is a really enjoyable game. Good offline, really good offline, if you get into the rhythm of how to play the game, because if you go into this game completely nubile, you're going to die a few times to the most basic of monsters. But if you've played previous games, or even have someone that has taught you how to play the game, you're going to have such a good time in this game. Because if you get into the little mechanic, because each weapon that you play with has a different little mechanic to it. Because you'll have the longsword, and it'll have a gauge up in the top left corner, where if you fill this gauge, you can execute a certain attack. And depending on how many times you use that attack, the gauge fills up again, and it goes up to I think white, and that is the maximum.
Sorry, I'm googling nubile. You use the word nubile.
Nubile. So I was wondering what the hell you're doing.
You're really N00BILE, because nubile it's a very sexual word.
I thought nubile just meant like nubile as in you're new to something. I thought that's where the word noob came from. Or am I incredibly
I don't know
mistaken?
But the word nubile generally has a lot to do with being ready for a fucking, basically. Which kind of works if you're a noob.
Well, if you're playing Monster Hunter 4 and you don't know that the Rathalos giant fire-breathing dragon can do this certain attack and poison you while doing it, you're pretty much ready for a fucking. But I apologise for my ignorance. I thought nubile just meant very naive.
I imagine at some point it will appear on an Urban Dictionary as something to do with a total noob.
Yeah. I genuinely thought that's what nubile meant.
Now, nubile's a word that's existed before the internet.
Oh, right.
It's generally to do with young women in a very sexual context, but it just made me laugh at using the word nubile, and I couldn't help but Google it.
Well, I genuinely thought nubile. That's not what I meant.
But yeah, apparently, if you want to go after dragons, you might want to be ready for a fucking.
Yeah, because you're going to.
If you're unprepared.
But and then you get to the online version of that game, which is it's a hell of a lot of fun. Because then there's 4, like you and 3 of your buddies just taking down giant fire-breathing dragons and various other things. It gets pretty fun. But Capcom, that's kind of their saving grace. That and Street Fighter are the 2 things that Capcom are holding on to tightly because they don't want to lose them. Because the things that are bringing them in the most money.
Yeah. Certain studios develop certain properties, and certain properties develop certain amounts of cash. And you kind of need those to happen, whether or not you kind of want it to, if they want to keep milking the same, cow again and again and again, it's fine, but at a certain point you start beating a dead horse.
Yeah, I think at this point with Resident Evil and Capcom, I would really, really enjoy a reboot of that series, just to take it back to its roots, strip away all you can still keep it the Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 5 style, where it is, you can still move and shoot, or the Resident Evil Revelation style, where you can move and shoot, and it's a third-person camera, not the kind of top-down,
fixed camera positions.
Fixed camera tank controls that were used in Resident Evil 1 and 2, which I enjoy a lot, because Resident Evil is my favourite game series, but I'd still prefer the Resident Evil 4 and 5, because that's what would make the game sell more if we make it the more accessible version. But the stories are just becoming so strange that we need better writers in there, and I think if we reboot it, that might happen.
That series does need a reboot story-wise, but half of the battle is going to be settling on mechanics. I think stopping to shoot is a good idea for that, because you need something to make it horrifying that you have to choose between fight or flight.
Yeah. Putting
it that simply would help a lot. But a story rewrite, definitely necessary, because that thing is a mess. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. And as well, just scrap the movies.
Yeah, because the movies are fucking dog shit.
If you're going to sit back and enjoy them with way too much alcohol, then you should probably be consuming.
I think video game movies as a whole are something that you need to be tanked to enjoy, because
you saying you don't enjoy In the Name of the King, the Jason Statham orc fighting movie?
Let me preface this film for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is before me and Colin started doing the podcast. Every month or so, if we both had free time, because I was busy training, Colin was busy working, we just go, right, screw it, we've got some free time, we'll get some Jack Daniels, we'll get some Jägermeister, we'll watch a shitty film, we'll catch up, right? The film that we watched was In the Name of the King, featuring an all-star cast as Jason Statham as the main character.
Ron Perlman, because of course Ron Perlman.
Is in a fantasy movie, why the fuck not? One of my personal favourite actors, Ray Liotta, playing a weird magician who throws books at people.
Yeah, he does that.
Very poorly CGI book. Watching this film sobered me the fuck up. I was pretty tanked watching this film. Then all of a sudden I seen just the very poor levels of acting from everybody. And is it an Uwe Boll film?
Yes, it is.
And it's a Diablo film, isn't it?
No, it's Castle Crasher.
Castle Crasher is different. I think Dungeon Keeper.
Dungeon Keeper, yeah.
Yeah, it's a Dungeon Keeper.
School.
Yeah.
It's an old school game, and they tried to make it for the film. I thought it was funny as hell.
I thought it was bloody god awful.
It is awful, but it's funny as hell.
It's a train wreck. It's fun to just watch it unfold. And then even now we're getting more game movies. Like Five Nights at Freddy's is getting its own movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of video game movies, or in some form of production. I've just seen a trailer for Hitman Agent 47. Nothing to do with the Hitman movie that came out before that everyone agreed was bad.
Yeah, even with that hot chick showing her tits, it still was not a redeemable movie.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but I was sitting watching and screw it. Someone fired a helicopter in the Kremlin or something. I don't even remember.
I watched it with my dad, and even my dad enjoyed it. That's how I knew it was a bad movie. Because even though it was a good film, it's nothing to do with the movie, it's nothing to do with the games.
Yeah. But Agent 47 seems to be going along the lines of, let's make the transporter but more bald.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
Can you get more bald than Jason Statham?
Yes, this guy is like waxed bald.
Oh, as in he's got the he's
There's
done
no
the second
stubble.
he's done the second pass and he's got the straight razor
I don't
just
even know how.
right to the skin.
It's obviously going to be some kind of like cap they've put
Yeah.
over his head, but this guy is bald as fuck. It's an impressive level of, as someone, lacking follicles, this is quite an impressive level of bald they've achieved on this. It might be CGI bald, I don't know. That's the level
I think
of bald
CGI
we have
bald might be difficult to pull off at this point.
It'd be terrifying as well. Like, if it goes wrong, it's going to go horribly wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been a huge fan of the Hitman series. In fact, I wouldn't even sugarcoat that I'm not a fan of the Hitman series. I've never got into them. I've never played them past the very first one. I just didn't find them interesting games. And with the first one, the first movie, I did not enjoy that at all. So I'll probably not look into the second one or the remake.
All I saw was he gets out of a car in the middle of the street because it doesn't work anymore. Then some harpoons launch into the car and SWAT teams start to try and come at him by ziplining down the harpoon lines that they've just fired off. And then he shoots them out of the air with double pistols. It's going to be so dumb. I think it might actually qualify as so dumb as fun.
Yeah, I think that might be what they're going with the Five Nights at Freddy's story. I think it might just be so ludicrous that I guess it's meant to be a horror film, but I don't know how scary you can go with a giant teddy bear that wants to stuff you in an animatronic. I don't know how scary you can go with that.
Similar things have been done, like Chucky.
Yeah.
Chucky was funny, a little bit jump scary at times.
Yeah.
I worry that we're going to go way too into jump scares rather than actual horror.
I think most of the first, because I think the way they'll direct it is, well, the director first and foremost is Gil Keenan. He directed the Poltergeist remake.
Right.
Poltergeist, it was a scary film back in the day, but the remake just made it completely unscary. There's not even a single jump scare, and I watched that, didn't even go, oh, that happened. I just kind of sat through it, squinting my face going, oh, no, right, it's pretty much like when your friend sees you do something, you've done it really well, and then your friend goes, I'm going to do something that's going to be better. It's going to be better than your one. Then you see their version, and they've just completely lost track of what you were trying to do in the first place. That's what the remake of Poltergeist was like to me.
Right.
But Gil Keenan's directing Five Nights at Freddy's. I think the best way for them to structure it is if they do it in days. Like they go, intro, where it's him getting this new job, applying for it. He gets the job at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Then it goes fade to black. Day one up on screen, and it's him running through the pizzeria going, alright, that guy's still there, then there's a few jump scares in there, then it's day 2, day 3, he starts losing his grip on sanity.
I'd expect a Paranormal Activity ripoff themed around Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of, because that's, in Five Nights at Freddy's, there's a lot of watching things through security camera.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be him watching Freddy bolt down a hallway to get to him, and he's got to shine his flashlight in his eyes to stop him running at him so he can get a few more seconds of life. Or so he can get a few more seconds to run, close this door, and watch Freddy run back. As
far as pacing on a movie would go, that wouldn't work. You need to literally build through noises, bumps, and things in the night, or skip forward a couple of days to where Freddy attacking is the last night. That has to be the pacing of the movie, as far as I'm aware, unless you can do something revolutionary with the entire horror genre. Don't think it'll work out unless you build to an animatronic suit attacking someone. And I reckon you need to put a couple of security guards on and have one disappear.
I think, well, and that would deviate from the whole story of Five Nights at Freddy's, because what makes it pretty scary is that there's all these homicidal animatronic death machines running about trying to kill you, and you're just one guy, and you have to deal with this shit for 5 hours.
Yeah.
You have to deal with this shit from 6 hours, midnight till 6 in the morning. That's what makes it pretty scary, because you're just one man and you don't have any weapons. All you have is a security system and 2 shutters next to you on either side. You have to deal with all this shit coming at you. I think if they went in the movie and they made it 2 security guards, that would kind of detract from it, because what makes it a good series is how terrified you know, because you step into the role of the security guard.
Yeah.
You think, holy shit, how terrifying would that be? It's all about how you perceive it. If there's 2 guys there, you can't really step into the mindset of just one of them, because one of them could be dealing with it really well, the other one could be just completely shitting his pants.
I think what we're butting our head up against here is the fact that some games don't translate well to the visual medium of just movies.
Yeah.
And this might be part of it. I'd like to see them go very meta with it. Have the security guard die at least once or twice, and have it being him, have the whole thing being him saying, am I losing my nut here? Am I really not functioning well in my job? Because I can't quite figure out just what the hell is going on. Why do it occasionally when I'm sitting at work, Why does a weird rabbit face jump up, scream at me, and then I black out and wake up the next day in bed ready to go to work for the day? Am I having a nightmare? Is this the nightmare? Is the nightmare real? It'd be interesting to see how they go with it, but there's some things...
At this point, we can only wait and see. Because, this Five Nights at Freddy's wasn't the weirdest game movie that came out that caught my attention. Minecraft is getting its own movie.
This has been hinted at for a while, and I know that a lot of people were worried what would happen when Mojang were bought by Microsoft for quite a lot of money. I think it hit the billion mark because you're buying the entire IP.
Yeah, Notch got a lot of money.
He outbid Jay-Z on a mansion. That's how much money he got.
Yeah.
Which is an impressive feat. The fact that, a geek beat Jay-Z. High five for the Geek Nation on that one. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, because it got a new director. It was originally the director of Night at the Museum. He was going to direct it, but he left it. I never really looked into the story. But then, you're going to need to help me with the surname Rob McElhenney.
Rob McElhenney.
Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He stepped up to direct it for the reason of he just loves that game. He was
at Minecon. He was at the Minecon convention of Minecraft. And I heard about this on the Rooster Teeth podcast where one of those guys is a huge fan of It's Always Sunny and was just invited over to go to Minecon as like a last minute filler for a panel and met Rob McElhenney and was like, oh my god, I can't believe he's here. And he is apparently a big fan. I'm interested to see what they do with this because I do play Minecraft.
I couldn't even think of... I couldn't even begin to fathom what the potential story could be.
And this is where it gets real interesting. I think it'll be almost like a playthrough of here's a story behind a playthrough. You play Minecraft with no input from the game almost. You get a how-to guide and you're told, here's the world, go for it. There's almost a story where you have to go find these items, build a portal to another dimension and slay a dragon. But there is no actual guide to this. There's no story. It's just kind of... Here's the thing, combine the things, go through the thing, kill the thing.
I've always viewed Minecraft as a build whatever the hell you want. Build a universe and make your own story on it.
Yeah.
Just build what you want. I know for a fact, do what you want will not translate well into a movie.
Yeah. I don't know what they're going to go with this. I imagine it might be kind of like an action comedy, and I think they've got to go CGI with it. I don't know.
I just genuinely hope they don't do the Minecraft characters have come into the real world or the main characters in the Minecraft universe. I hope they don't do anything like because it didn't work with Pixels. Pixels
How great
was a
would it
fucking
be
god-awful film.
if we went back to the old movie style of someone goes into the game of Minecraft? I'd watch the fuck out of that. Generic kid, you'd need a great kid to be the head of it just for the first first 10-15 minutes of, you're always on that computer, Sonny, what are you doing playing that game? And suddenly, the lightning cracks and he goes through the screen into Minecraft.
So we're talking about...
And he has to survive. The only way to get out of the game is to complete the game through the storyline of helping Steve get through the ender portal to slay the dragon.
So we're talking about a weird science thing, lightning strikes and he gets transported into the computer realm?
Something like that. I think it'd be quite fun to return to that kind of genre. I haven't seen anything like that in a while, but I think it'd work. It's been a while since the last Tron movie.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen anything big hit that. And this movie's going to hit big. It doesn't matter how it gets, reviewed or whatever. This one is going to make its money back.
Speaking of Tron, the actor from Tron, the actor who plays Tron, Bruce Boxleitner,
right?
He says he's done with Tron. He will do no more Tron movies because of how much shit he still gets for Tron Legacy.
Really?
Yeah, he's done I think they have D23, which is their kind of post-Comic-Con Disney conference. He was there promoting, I think he's getting his own Disney Infinity figure. He was there showing it off, and he said, yeah, I'm done with Tron. I'm finished with that movie. If Disney want to do any more, they're gonna have to recast Tron because I do not want anything to do with it.
That's quite an impressive level of hate he must be getting with it.
I think it's been so many years since he's done it because he's done Tron 1, which came about before we were even born, maybe early 80s. Then we had Tron Legacy 30 years or 20 odd years later.
The second one though, is it not Tron 1, Tron 2, then Legacy?
It's Tron, then it was Tron 2, which was a game,
right?
Which was pretty good. Apparently my brother Grant played it, he said it was pretty good. Don't really know, haven't played it. Then it went to Tron Legacy and people had mixed thoughts on Tron Legacy. I liked it because it was what I thought was the natural progression of Tron, because it goes from being this kind of boxy, kind of retro style computer program to this updated, very sleek and shiny, high rendered graphics thing. I thought it was the natural progression to it. Apparently it didn't stick well with a lot of fans.
Although, to be fair, when you have something that's been sitting for 30 years, nothing is going to translate.
Duke Nukem Forever, prime fucking example. That game should never have came out.
The only thing I think will break that trend might be the new Star Wars film.
Yeah.
I think that's because it's been such a joke that it's now got to be good.
Yeah, Episode 7, because Episode 7 has been teased for a while.
Yeah.
But now that we're finally getting it, people are going, fuck, I've run out of jokes. It might actually be good.
We might have to sit down and sit back and critically think about this movie.
And then trailers happened, and I will put my hand up and say I was one of the first people to say, Star Wars Episode 7, fuck off, it's going to be shit. And then I've done a complete 180 on that when I watched the trailer, and I was like, fucking hell, this film looks good. I will go and see it.
I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I think it might actually pan out. I really hope it does.
Yeah, it'll work well because J.J. Abrams is a fan. Because they're doing a lot of, in the movie realm, a lot of people who are directing movies are fans of that movie. Because Peyton Reed, who directed the Ant-Man film, he's a fan of the comic books. He was not the original director. Edgar Wright was meant to do it, but he wanted to make some weird, quirky version of it, and Marvel didn't do it. Marvel wouldn't allow him to do that. I said, no, you need to direct our version of the film. We've made the film. We just want you to direct it. And Edgar Wright left. And then they brought in Peyton Reed, who was like, yeah, sure, whatever you want. I love Ant-Man. He was just happy to do it.
Yeah. It's a thing I've heard a lot about, and I think it's because, in our spin, I mean, there's a lot of filmmakers making films and not just fans making films, and they happen to be a filmmaker at the same time, but it's not happening within the kind of geekosphere.
Yeah.
And I think it's because our focus on these subjects is so intense, you need someone to translate it to film.
Yeah.
And if that person happens to be a director who is pretty good or is very talented, which would be a great, find for someone in a studio, that's what you need. You can't really fuck around. You need to go and find that person who knows what they're talking about to translate it, because otherwise you just get shit on.
Yeah, I think in just the movie universe, we need more James Gunns. We need more people that can take weird IPs like Guardians of the Galaxy, which on paper that movie should not have worked. James Gunn and his team of magical elves made that film work. And Guardians of the Galaxy is probably my favourite Marvel cinematic film.
Yeah. Because
Thor was good, Iron Man's good, Captain America was really good, but Guardians of the Galaxy, it had that mix of funny, action, and the soundtrack for it was fucking outstanding. I love that soundtrack.
I keep hearing it again and again and again. I've watched it before. I've seen it about 3 times now. I want to go back and watch it again now. It seems to be cropping back up in the conversation.
It's going to become a cult hit.
It's now the flagship of what people want the Marvel movies to be. They keep pointing to this one example as being the one shining example of a great movie. I
think that's why Chris Pratt is going to become the new everywhere guy. You're going to see that guy everywhere.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah, he's funny in Parks and Recreation. Except that was a series I recently started watching because it showed up on Dave, one of our British TV channels.
Yeah, I love Dave.
Yeah,
Dave was really, really great. It was almost, you watched Dave, which is almost like a repeat channel.
Yeah, it's like UK TV. It's what was UK TV Gold. That was just repeat channels.
Yeah,
repeats from the BBC got handed to UK TV Gold.
But for those of you who don't know, Dave used to cover stuff like QI, Top Gear, all these big channels, all these big shows that you guys hear about in the US. Was all on one channel, and it was Nevermind the Buzzcocks was on there for a while, and all that.
So all of this stuff is still on there.
Yeah, it was just where you went to see that bit of television you just enjoyed watching. It was described as a bit of the lads channel, but I know a lot of people who just watched it regardless. Screw it. I can watch it. I can watch an old classic piece of television for a couple hours and just enjoy myself on my day off.
Yeah, because I loved going on to that channel. If I had some spare time, I'd be like, oh, The Mighty Bush is on. I watched 3 episodes of that, and then Red Dwarf. Then QI. Shit, I'm going to be in this chair for about 6 hours because after QI's finished, there's 3 episodes of Top Gear. Yeah, I'm sitting here for the day. I've never really done that with any other channel, apart from Cartoon Network when they showed the marathon of Ed, Edd and Eddy when I was in primary school.
Yeah.
Headache made my fucking weekend.
Yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock at night, just constant Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Yeah. They was almost a masterpiece of just kind of, here's that show you want to watch. Oh, it's been the whole day, has it? That's a real shame that you've lost a day.
You've lost the whole day, but you can now quote every single thing that Dave Lister said in Red Dwarf Season 2.
Yeah, that's kind of what we enjoy a lot of, is binge-watching television. Yeah. I am going to go on. I've just found, when you came in to record this, I was watching the first couple episodes of Dragon Ball Super. Watched it out of order, being a fucking noob. I went on a site, was given to me.
The site fireflied you. It made you watch them out of sequence.
Nah, I just got screwed over. Someone had uploaded the episode 3 under the episode 1 tag. I clicked on it because it was the first video. Great quality video, loaded really fast. Great playthrough. Was the wrong episode. I watched episode 3, then watched episode 2, and was screaming at the laptop saying, why the fuck is this out of order? Is this some weird Japanese storytelling method where you play everything out of order? And I was like, I was going to come on here and be like, they need to fucking re-edit this. When Funimation gets this, they need to fix this bullshit. Turns out I went and clicked on an episode 3 link, and that was what I thought was episode 1. So I've now went back, watched 1, 2, and now it makes sense because I'm an idiot. So I have 1 more episode to go, and then I have to go back and find something else to distract me for a couple of weeks while more episodes build up.
From the preliminary reviews that I've been reading online, that it's too funny. There's not enough Dragon Ball Z action. But my contrary to that is, Earth is meant to be safe.
Yeah.
This happens after Resurrection F. Dragon Ball Super happens after.
The storyline as it's being set up right now is actually weird. You've got Battle of the Gods, which is the first DVD.
Yeah.
Or the first movie on this kind of new saga that they're building, and most of the first couple episodes is basically a different storyline for the movie.
Oh, so they're retelling the movie?
Yeah, it's weird. Bulma's birthday party isn't happening at home, it's happening on a cruise ship. Don't know why that's important, I'm getting there. Beerus wakes up again, 39 years, waiting for Super Saiyan God. It's just different scenes. A lot of it's very similar.
It's the same story. They're going to get to the end result in the same way, but they're having fun with telling it a different way. Yeah,
the way I'm seeing it is that the movie is a isolated, very well polished version of the first couple episodes of Super. I'm okay with that. I don't mind it, because not everyone saw Super. I thought they were cutting it, or not everyone saw Battle of the Gods, so they're doing Super. The first intro is, the first episode is actually just Goku hanging out with family, and then Beerus doing other stuff on the way, and there is a very funny note that they say, Beerus has destroyed 8.5 planets in a day. And I'm like, wait, how did he do a half planet? And I watched it out of order, so I missed this, but he goes back and he likes a meal that he's given, and his whole thing is, appease me with food, or you'll face my wrath. Someone gives him a decent meal, he goes, I'll destroy half your planet. So he goes over to the planet, cuts it in half and blows up half of it, and the other half just kind of floats away in space. Dick move, bro, but kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah, you've just, by only destroying half our planet, you've killed everyone on it, because we've now fallen out of orbit and are spiralling into a black hole.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm watching it, and I'll maybe give it a break. I started watching Crunchyroll, as I said I would, and it turns out, despite the fact I'm watching DBZ subbed, I'm not enjoying subbed anime as much as I do the dub. The difference being subtitled, dubbed over, with no audio from English or from English-speaking actors. And I do prefer to watch the dubbed version because it's just so much easier for me to watch in the background while I do other stuff. And I'm enjoying some dub stuff. I watched an anime called Punchline, which is nuts, and it's about...
You say Punchline, I immediately think Punch Out, the old Nintendo game, and I keep thinking they made an anime of that. But what is Punchline?
I think they did. I think
did. Yeah.
There's a lot of boxing and sports anime.
Yeah, Hajime no Ippo, and it's standing boxing anime. It's just over the fucking top.
Yeah, but there's like a lot of...
Sorry, what is Punchline? Give us a...
This is one of the ones they advertised. I saw this one as being so strange when it was on a YouTube advert. Like, I gotta go watch this with this free trial I've been given. There's like free trials everywhere for this. So you look for any kind of source, someone will probably point you in the right direction of either a 2-week or a 1-month trial for free. And you can watch it and just kind of be amazed at just how there's a massive cultural difference about stuff. The plotline is a young man dies while trying to stop a terrorist kind of attack on a bus, while a superhero is also there helping. Part of the problem, part of why he actually gets to help in the fight, is because he sees a pair of women's panties and gets excited. And when I say excited, I mean like Super Saiyan level excited. And we're not just using this as Dragon Ball Z fans. There's a hair colour change, an eye colour change, he gains a glowing aura, and he can punch like a fucking boss. Super Saiyan is, it's being ripped off because it's a great trope to have. Just a transformation, an outburst of anger, and an outburst of emotion leads you to being the best version of yourself. Yeah. No problem with people ripping it off. Only thing is, it happens when he's sexually excited. In his normal body, in a human body, it doesn't really affect him too much. He just loses his shit even more. However, he dies in the bus crash. I think he gets shot, or the bus crashes and he gets smashed into pieces and doesn't make it out of the terrorist attack. He then wanders the earth as a ghost, kind of not quite trapped in his old home, but he's kind of rooted there because that's where he spent most of his time. And the story develops around the young woman he lives with, because why not have a harem movie about a ghost? Which is a weird anime thing as well. Harems, don't even bother looking at that. It gets really weird really fast.
I'm aware of what a harem is.
Yeah,
but Japanese
animes, fucking hell.
Fucking weird.
Stand back. But yeah, he in his ghost form, can't see the panties twice, or a meteor hits the Earth. And you're thinking, what the fuck's the point in that? It's explained that he, as a ghost, can prevent a meteor hitting the Earth. You don't know how. He's going to have to figure that out. Unfortunately, his body kind of destroys itself, or his ghost form destroys itself, if he sees panties twice. So it's kind of a bit comedic that he has to try and avoid as a ghost. Like, because as a ghost you can fly through the walls. He sees one woman getting changed, and then flies through the wall because he's like, oh god, I can't see this, I'm a ghost, so I'll fly through the wall. Cuts to another room of a woman bouncing up and down. Or looking for a thing, and just her skirt going up, and oh, it's so nice. I'm wearing a dress, and I've got panties on that you can see, and suddenly it's just like, his head explodes, and then a meteor hits the Earth. It's basically, the meteor hitting the Earth is like a smash cut of, oh fuck it, nothing can be done. He was the only one who could say this, so let's just cut to the meteor hitting the Earth. Smash. Planet. Gone. And it's weird. It really is. It's because there's such an emphasis on the women being in very little clothing. It's uncomfortable to watch.
That's just Japanese anime as a standard now. It's not so much in Dragon Ball Z and Gundam Wing shows that we watch, but now if you watch other animes, especially in Bleach, there's always an emphasis on very large-chested women,
yeah,
who at some point will be in a bikini episode carrying water with their tits.
Part of my exposure to anime is through kind of what's called shonen stuff, which is very masculine. It's all about fighting and power and stuff like that. So we have a certain
shonen is actually the Japanese word for boy.
Yeah. So we have all that kind of predisposition towards anime, where we think it's kind of awesome in kung fu fights and stuff like that, and then suddenly it turns around to, oh, there's this whole other, like, you know, shonen's like almost like a small segment of anime. There's this whole other thing you haven't seen yet of different styles of anime, where there's, you know, the females, there's daily, like, one of the tabs on Crunchyroll's website is every day, where it's just talking about
slice of life anime.
Slice of life anime, where you just go in and you're watching a kid go through high school. Who gives a fuck? Yeah. That's just because that's not our style. I'm sure someone enjoys it.
Yeah, when you get TV shows like Attack on Titan Junior High, which is coming soon, who gives a shit about a guy who's doing algebra during the day, and at night he has to go and kill a Titan? No one wants to see that show. And with Attack on Titan, it's just milking that series for all it's worth.
Yeah, Attack on Titan is getting hugely popular, and I enjoyed the actual series. I've got them on Blu-ray, and I get what I was missing now when I was watching it through a shitty stream online, and it was just... It's a very beautiful technical show, but there is stuff missing from it that has come through now on Blu-ray. I wasn't looking for an explanation to Eren Yeager's high school life. That's why I wasn't looking into it. I was just looking to see if the video quality was any better, if that would make the show better, and it did. Unfortunately, somebody has went and capitalised on the show's success.
Yeah,
and
the trailer that I've seen for Attack on Titan Junior High, it was one kid, I don't know who it is, brushing the Colossal Titan's teeth. Just a big brush, and he's scrubbing the hell out of the Colossal Titan's teeth. I
don't know what's going on with this. I need to look into it.
A lot of people say, oh, it's going to be funny. But in a show where the base of the Attack on Titan Junior High is Attack on Titan itself, where you have people who are just looking to survive, who are facing encroaching civilization-wide destruction at the hands of flesh-eating titans. How does that translate into a junior high setting?
It might do some way, but my favourite thing about the show is that it's unbelievably brutal. But we're talking like episode 1, Mummy gets bit in half.
Yeah, then you've got Levi stomping the living fuck out of Eren.
Yeah, which is, you know, two characters. Like, that's how he saves him, is to basically beat him in public. But it's all kind of, I want to sit back and let it happen and then come back and look at it. So I'm going to kind of shelve Attack on Titan Junior High.
Yeah.
For the train wreck, it's going to be later. So.
I think as soon as I finish watching Attack on Titan, I probably won't look into season 2 because I'm not enjoying season 1 that much. I don't think I'll probably won't even look into Junior High.
I don't know, it's coming across as very, like, annoyingly angsty, which is it's the typical of anime.
I don't mind the angsty because a lot of these animes get very emotive. They get, because you need to you feel the need to justify why this character really hates Titans. It's just the pacing is up and down like a drunken yo-yo. Because you'll get episode 1, which is extremely high octane and all this action happening, and you get episode 2, which is dialogue, episode 3, which is more dialogue, episode 4, you get Eren finally meets the Colossal Titan again, it just jumps straight back up, then you get another 5, 6, 7 episodes where not that much happens in them. It's just the pacing seems very off to me.
Yeah. I think it might be some kind of look at, I don't want to say realistic, but, you know, military deployment or military careers aren't all action. There's lull points. And it can be, you could go years not doing anything, and then suddenly it all kicks off. and that might be what they're going for.
Yeah, I do understand that, but
Presenting it as entertainment is getting kind of difficult, though.
Yeah, I do understand that if you are a member of the military, that it's not all hide behind the sandbags, kill these guys. It's not all that. There are some days when you just have to clean your rifle or you have to buff your boots. But in a show where the entire crux of it is they could die at any time, there's building up suspense by giving us a couple episodes of dialogue, but then there's building up suspense with these episodes of dialogue and doing nothing with them.
It strikes me as one of those kind of cheap and easy horror tropes where basically someone is going to give you a great little discussion and have a really good character moment and then die in the next scene because you just will start liking them.
Yeah.
Very typical in horror movies, very typical in games.
Yeah.
It kind of happens as, hey, do you want to see a picture of my kid? You're like, that dude's going to die.
Yeah, you are the father, you will die. I mean, that happens in a...
Yeah, my wife just gave birth. Oh, shit.
Does that not happen in one of the Alien vs Predator films? Guys just like, yeah, my wife just gave birth. I'm like, yeah, you're dead, mate.
And it happens like a scene later.
Yeah, and it's just, oh, yeah, there you go. Alien just fucked you with its spear.
Maybe that's part of the pacing of it. But I'll sit back and watch it happen, and in doing so, I'll maybe get through some of Dragon Ball Super, and then I'm still waiting on details on when we get to the revival of F, because I don't know when it's coming to the UK.
I have no idea. I'll probably be October time when we get Scotland's anime again.
Yep, that's what I'm kind of holding on to.
And here's hoping I might actually get the gold issue. Yeah, we'll just leave it there. No fancy message or anything. Just thank you for taking the time to listen to episode 4 of the Gibberpish podcast. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, use our Twitter at Gibberpish or send us an email at gibberpish@outlook.com. We'll read your feedback out live on the show. Even if you want to ask a couple of questions about the show, anything really.
Or if you don't want us to read it out on the show, if you just want to ask specific things, go for it. Just send us an email. Let us know what you think about the show. Well, we just kind of sift through more bad anime or good anime. You never know. There might be some out there.
Hell, if there's something that we missed this week that you want us to talk about next week, feel free to drop that in the email as well.
And any suggestions as well. I mean, if you want to throw out, say, a weird name or a game series you like, hey, what do you guys think about it? Would you recommend people? I'll sit and play it for some reason.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. Send us your feedback with just dumb games that you think we might get a kick of. We'll try and play them if we can get a hold of them. We'll come back next week and say what we thought of them if they were completely off the rails or they were pretty decent.
I don't mind slagging off your childhood favourite game. I'll do it.
Yeah, if you want us to play Echo the Dolphin, don't be surprised if I call it dog shit again.
Yeah, so in the meantime, I've been Colin Graham.
I've been Dom Anderson.
And we've been talking complete gibberpish.
Yar.
Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar. Yar.